of people love it when they do things. It's like when a relationship ends, that is your time to fix whatever it is that was the problem within that relationship, so that when your next one come around, you don't make the same mistakes. I feel like people just go from person to person to person to person and don't realize that they have these unspoken as like resentments, these unspoken expectations for people that don't even belong to them. Like, if you got abandonment issues, or you got, trauma from your past and stuff, it's up to you to heal that stuff so the next person don't have to deal with that. It's like you go into a relationship, or you go into a situation, and because your father wasn't around, or your ex left you behind the first time or the last time or whatever time, it's like you make it the next person's responsibility to have to fix that wound, and that's not fair to them. A lot of relationships be ending like that, and a lot of stuff don't be working out because people be having these unspoken as expectations, and it's like people don't like to communicate either. So it's not like people taking the time to say, yeah, maybe I am still healing from so and so and so. Be accountable for what's not perfect, because nobody's perfect. But in the same breath, it's not up to nobody else to have to come in and save the day every time somebody else does something to create a wound in your life. Like, we have, time on our own for a reason. Make do of that time, and then you get in these relationships, and then you create so many like new traumas and by having these unspoken expectations. Because a lot of times you're not going to tell this person you're expecting them to do this, you're expecting them to do that. Like, a lot of times we unconsciously, we don't even realize that we're doing this shit, and it's ridiculous. Like, no person should have to go through a whole bunch of suffering because you refuse to go within and heal yourself from things from your past or from things from your childhood. That is your responsibility to do, so that you can show up healthy for this new person, or this new person can show up, in a way for you that you deserve, but in a healthy way. It's like, it's very unhealthy the way that these relationships be going. That's the reason why, I don't know, I just be like pride myself on just taking my time nowadays with situations, because one thing my past relationship taught me is that there were a lot of things that was unhealed, not just about myself but about that person. But it's also about, you're attracting these type of people for a reason. You're attracting these type of people because they're mirroring either something you need to change about yourself. Well, most of the time it is something you need to change about yourself. It's like you need to do more of something, or you need to do less of something. You know what I'm saying? But in order for you to be able to acknowledge that, you have to first be able to understand that you're not perfect. And if you know your life wasn't, peaches and cream, and your childhood or your upbringing wasn't the best, or your past relationships was like crazy, opposites attract to learn lessons. And so when you constantly are at odds, oh goodness, man, they was just up the street. When you're constantly at odds with somebody, could you get off my ass so I can turn around, please? Constantly at odds with a person, then you know that this is a relationship that 9 times out of 10 is there to teach you something. And it's up to you to be responsible enough to learn what that is. We try so hard to try to force people to be something else that they're not, or we are, like I said, unconsciously inflicting a person with our wounds that we refuse to heal on our own, because we're expecting somebody else to do it, because somebody else inflicted the wound on us to begin with. But it's definitely not their responsibility. Don't settle. It's like people just sit around and settle for just to have somebody. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not about to just sit here like, oh, well, because just because somebody accept me, or just because somebody seem like they want me, or whatever, or just to say I have somebody, I'm just going to sit around and just be unhappy in a relationship with somebody. No. And a lot of people be thinking they winning. Like, they'll be seeing a single person, single. Yeah, of course, people want companions. People want partners and shit. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, when you happy with yourself, you love yourself, and you're giving yourself that proper care, then it's nothing, you know, for you to... why? Just why? Why would you continue to come up here if you see me coming down? Y'all about to piss me the fuck off, Mo. Oh, God. Excuse my language, y'all. But people be doing some ignorant ass stuff, young. And it takes so much out of me not to be losing my fucking cool a lot. For real. Because I just don't be understanding motherfuckers. Could you wait, bitch? God damn. Excuse me, y'all. I don't mean to, but people so fucking impatient. And as soon as you hit them or something happen, then they hollering and screaming and mad. Like, you see me coming down. It's obviously one way in, one way out. Why would you continuously come this way if you see me halfway down the damn alley? Anywho, it just be giving like that type of shit right there. And consider it just focus on your fucking self and what you trying to do type vibes, and not worried about other people. That shit is unhealthy as hell, young. But I just say all that to say, don't ever feel like because you're single and you're content with yourself that you're losing anything. Because me, myself, the fuck, I'm perfectly fine with or without anybody. And I got friends and, you know, little people that I'm into, whatever. But it's not given I'm about to sabotage or be jumping in those situations knowing everything that I just went through just to have somebody on my, you know, on my arm, or just to show this other person that I can have a relationship too. It's not about all that shit. The fuck, I'm not living my life for other people. And that's another thing. Y'all, that on the surface as like behavior, that shit don't get you nowhere, Mo. People be living on the surface like shit. It's like what you see, what you see is literally what you be getting. People don't be giving a fuck about what they so do. It's like, bruh, you are toxic, you are unstable as hell, and all that. Like, I literally see what your so do. But I'm supposed to care because you got a nice face, or, you know, you look good, or you got some money in your pocket. So it's like disregard the fact that you don't know how to communicate, your ass don't know how to express your own fucking feelings because you got so much trauma and wounds that you're not even comfortable speaking. Like, it be a lot that come with relationships and people, and just like peeling back those layers over time. It's a lot that come with that stuff. We have to be prepared for that, but in order for you to be prepared for it, you have to prepare yourself. You have to be ready for these things. You can't get ready for something if you're not ready for it. Like, how I'm cater to a person when I haven't even loved on my own fucking self? How do you know what you want or what you require, what you need from somebody else if you are not taking the time to figure out what it is that you're even suffering or hurting from? So, I don't know. I just say that, just like, don't ever feel like because you see so many couples and shit walking around, you know, it make you get like melancholy or something, like, oh, I'm not going to have a person, or I wish I had a person, because that's how you end up settling. You end up settling for any and everybody just because you don't want to be alone. But that is abandonment issues. And that's something you need to go within about. Why do I feel like I have to have somebody? Why do, what about my life made me feel this way? What about my life, created this wound where as though I'm so codependent on having somebody else, or if I don't have somebody in my life, I feel like I won't make it. Because that's not true. You came in this world by yourself. You graduated high school by yourself, college by yourself. You got your job by yourself. It's a lot of things that you do by yourself that you don't even realize because you're so worried about having somebody in your life to depend on all the time. Sometimes you don't need people. That's why I always tell people, don't get with people that need you, because you don't know what they need you for. People be needing they rent paid, be needing this and that. That don't mean they want you. If anything, I want a person that wants me. I don't want somebody that needs me, because when somebody needs you, you definitely don't know what that need is about. Now, somebody wanting you, they got their own, they fend for themselves and all that shit like that. So 9 times out of 10, if they want you, I mean, you know, if you're in their life, it's because they fuck with you, like you. It's not about everything that you doing for them or whatever the case may be. People be opportunists, and people really don't be in a lot of situations for love, dog. They be in it for the benefit. They be in it for what they can get from a person, or like, how can I depend on this person? In what way can I be codependent on this person? And that don't be fair. So that's the message. See you guys later.